Hello there, welcome to Genesis Models. My name is Bo Waldron and welcome to the April 2020 show. We've got loads and loads coming up in the show. We've got all sorts about competitions and GBs and the forum and everything. But I just want to sort of quickly throw out there about the whole COVID-19 thing and how it affects Genesis Models. And as you probably already guessed, it doesn't affect us. I mean, I do work from home, so really, it's business as usual. The videos are going to be still coming out, the website's still going and everything. You haven't got to worry about that. I do appreciate that, with everyone in lockdown, right, you're gonna sort of want to have stuff to do, and yet, Genesis Models can be a nice escape where you can just forget about the world, get a model out, get into that modeling zone, and when you're in that modeling zone, you can just forget about the world, and it's a nice break and escape from all this that's going on, because it isn't nice, it is a bit surreal, and I do hope you're all keeping yourself safe, but if you want to bury yourself in the models, you can, and Genesis Models is going to be going as normal. In fact, I do want to try and do a little bit extra, but we'll talk a bit more about that when we do April's competition. But apart from that, I want to sort of move along, and what I kind of want to do is take Genesis Models not to sort of go on about the whole coronavirus thing. I do sort of want it to be just a place to forget about it, right? I mean, there's plenty of news out there. You can find out this, whatever, about COVID-19, but I sort of just want to just as minimal as possible, just not talk about the whole COVID-19. I want it to be a place where we can all escape and just do our modelling and forget about it all. So in saying that, right, let's just move along now. We've got kit release news, which surprisingly they are still releasing new kits, which is good. So let's jump into our kit release news. Hello there and welcome to Genesis Models kit release news for April 2020. First up, we have the North American P51, sorry, no, it's not the P51, it's the F51D Mustang Korean War. It is by Tamiya in that lovely whopping 1/32 scale. It is going to cost you a £149.99, but that one does look really good. We also have by Hasegawa, we have the Mitsubishi F1 in 1/48 scale. That's going to set you back £44.99. Edard does a Hawker Tempest Mark V Series 2, which is a weekend edition. That is in 1/48 scale at £22.20. We then also have Edard with a 1/72 scale MiG-21 PF Soviet Interceptor Fighter, which is at £17.99. Zvesta does a SU 122 self-propelled gun in 1/35 scale at £24.99. Then we have this lovely USS Lexington carrier, which is the Extreme Edition, which has a ton of photo etching there. That's by Ming Models in 1/350 scale at £89.99. And that's it for your kit release news April 2020. So there's your kit release news, and now we come to last month's competition, which was for March, which was the Israeli main battle tank, the Merkava Mark 3D Late LIC. It was by Ming Models, and it was in 1/35 scale. Now, after doing the usual random number generation program and counting down the thread, I came to Peter 1972X. So congratulations to you, you are the winner. All you got to do is give me a email or a PM with your mailing address, and I'll get this shipped out to you free of charge. And don't worry if you didn't win, we do have April's competition coming up later. Now, when you guys entered this, I did ask you a question, and the question was, what would you want to be the next step by step here at Genesis Models? And it was between the Phantom and the Leopard 2. And guess what? You guys, by quite a big margin actually, voted for, which you might already know because I've already released episode 1. You did vote for the Leopard 2 A7, and that was by Ming Models. Really sort of cracking kit. You can probably see already I have got all these road wheels and everything all done, and with sort of nicely give them texture on the tires and all this good stuff. The sway bars are looking good. I do like how they've got this nice bit of like a suspension to them, which is a nice sort of bit of building there. I do like that, which should go nicely with dioramas and all that cool stuff. So yeah, you guys, thanks for voting on what you thought would be the best step by step, and you know, it is turning out to be quite fun. It is moving along kind of quickly as well. Admittedly, because it's tanks, the build side of it, you know, is pretty sort of quick to sort of go through. There's nothing they're easier than aircraft, let's put it that way. You know, aircraft, it's all that, you know, like filling, sanding, scribing, getting all the seam lines all nice and perfect. Tanks, you're just sticking loads of bits onto a brick. So we should get through the build side of it pretty quickly via the episodes. So that's that, but let's have a bit more of a deeper look into what we're building here at Genessis Models. The first bit of whether I want to do is these oil brushes, right? These are really sort of cool. These are by Ammo. It's in this really sort of nice pot. Hopefully you can see there, you open it up and you've got a little brush on the end, and basically these are oil paints. Now the cool thing about oil paints is they take a long time to dry, and you can really sort of feather them, make cool effects like what we're going to do just here on our warp nacelle. Now this decal is just plain red, but if you look at you know, sort of the show and everything, you'll see that it's almost like some sort of fiery plasma thing going on in there, and it looks kind of cool. What we're going to do to represent this and sort of liven this up a bit. Now this is a light touch, right? A lot of this weathering we're going to be doing is going to be sort of light touches where you don't quite sort of notice it so much. You want to keep it light. You don't want it to be too in your face. But what we're going to do is nicely with the brush, we can just dab on here a little bit just on there like so. Doesn't look all that sort of fiery at the moment, but if we come along and we get out some of this is basically some odorless turpentine. When it comes to stuff like oils and enamels and stuff, don't go off to your hardware store and sort of buy turpentine or something like that, because they're normally a little bit too strong and they can eat into your paint. But buying the actual manufactured sort of proper stuff that you use for scale modeling is normally sort of formulated better for the hobby. So just getting my paintbrush, and I'm just gonna get a little bit of this just on the end of my paintbrush, right? And what this will do, this will sort of thin it down, right? So if I sort of now just dab at it like so, as you actually, before we get on with some gluing, what we're going to do is make these wheels look a little bit cooler. So what we're going to do is bring you in, is what we could do, we can actually get a sanding stick, get a nice coarse sanding stick, and what we're going to do is we're just actually going to sand these rubber road wheels, right, like so. And what you want to do is lightly do it. We don't want to press too hard, because sadly they don't do like a really coarse sanding stick in the spongy version, right? So we don't have a spongy version one, so we've got to use the flat one, and we've got to be careful not to make a flat top. So we're going nice and light, and at the same time we want to sort of move with the curvature, if you can see what I'm sort of doing, going with that curvature rather than just staying in one place and just sanding like so. You know, we don't want to get that flat top, and we just want to sand it all the way around. And what this will do is it'll give us a nice texture to our rubber road wheel. Right, so again, the same with all those little cuts we've put in there. When we come round to do weathering and using pigments and all that cool stuff, right, the pigments will go into all this light bit of sanding, give us some nice texture and nice effects and realism and all that that good stuff. Just blow it off, and hopefully you'll see that now it's got this sort of nice rough texture to it, right? Hello there, welcome to Genessis Models. My name is Bobby Waldron and welcome to a new step-by-step video build here at Genessis Models. We are going to be building quite a bit of a different build here. It's going to be quite a whopper. It's going to be this. It's going to be the Spitfire Mark 1A. This is by Hitachi Part Works. It is in a whopping 1:18 scale. So this is going to be a massive build. It's a subscription-based kind of collection where you slowly collect it. Probably a quick explanation would be to next sort of panel line, which is a little bit tricky on this particular model, is going to be these leading edges along here. We have these recessed panel lines that will wrap around like so. Getting here with a P-cutter, it does make it quite sort of slippy, just going around that edge, because it comes to such a point. It is a tricky one. I find getting out the micro saw again. These things are really sort of nice and stable, and we use the same technique. We start where we've got a recessed panel line, all right, and then we hold it in this position, as you can see here, nice and steady, and it's the actual model that we rotate. Alright, so find that already recessed panel line and we move the model itself, which again, you know, which is why accessibility is kind of key, right? As you can see in this situation, if I'd glued our fuselage onto here, just made this so much more trickier. We now want to glue in our axle stands just here. Now to do this, right, because these axle stands are going to be the same colour, the same ochre yellow as the rest of the model, but the wheels aren't. So we don't want to be gluing our wheels on, right? We just want to glue the axle stands in, because these wheels are all painted black already. I mean, there's no real point painting them. But what you want to do is just make sure that the rod's in the right position, so it's not over here like this, right? It's just, you know, nice and equal, right? I mean, we can still, even after spraying, sand these down if need be, but you want to get it as close as you can, and then with the cocktail stick, bit of super glue on here, come from the underside and glue it in on the underside, right? Doesn't matter if we make too much of a mess on the underside, because we're not going to see the underside when this model is all built, right? So, you know, we are clear to make a mess if need be. Don't come from the, say, the top side, right? And there you go, that is glued in. Now we want to prepare for spraying. Now what we can do here is, first off, we've got our big 12-pounder gun just here. We can, nice little cocktail stick, stick it in the hole that we've already drilled. If you find, in this case, the hole's not deep enough, plain and simply, we can take our cocktail stick and we can just snip a bit off the end, right, so it's less pointy, and then it should, as you can see, nicely be hands-free. So those are the builds that are going on so far. It's nice to see that the Enterprise is getting close to being finished. I mean, fingers crossed I'll finish it this month. Nice to be starting a whole brand new build with the Leopard 2 as well as the other builds coming along quite nicely. Which now brings us to April 2020's competition. As I say, I didn't want to harp on about COVID-19, but what I want to do with the competition is, I always ask you to kind of give me some sort of a question or feedback to sort of get entered into the competition, which all you got to do is go to Genessis Models website, on the forum section, in the competition section. All you got to do is post this question I'm going to ask you, and you get entered. What I want to know is, what can I do extra, right? Because as I've already mentioned, you know, with you all at home, you've all got more time, right? I want to put out some more content, right, to sort of keep you all sane and give you out more and whatnot, because you're going to be doing a lot of modeling now. So what would you want to see more? Now, I've got a couple of ideas, but I want to throw it out to you guys to give me more ideas and see what the majority of you want to do. I've been thinking maybe a daily live session, maybe a mini GB, right, and a nice little mini group build that you can all sort of do. Maybe something like build whatever you want while you're all in lockdown. You all just build absolutely anything, and at the end of it all, I don't know, I'll give away a prize to the winner or something. All sorts of ideas like that. We do have TeamSpeak, right? You know, if you're kind of wanting to do a bit of socializing, TeamSpeak's all good, ready to go. You can get on there, and just anyone that comes in, just chat. Maybe we could organize some sort of a get together on there. Absolutely anything. But you know, I want to get some feedback off you guys for this month's competition. Now, I'm not going to be waiting until May's show to kind of go, this is what we're going to do. I do feel like we need to sort of get this implemented pretty quick, pretty fast. So when this video goes up, you know, get those comments in quick, because I'm probably over the next couple of days going to take those comments and implement whatever it is to give you that extra content, to give you that little bit more while, you know, things are a bit sort of low right now. So the competition, what the prize is for April 2020 is, you know, sadly I'm not going to be giving away a kit because of everything that's going on. I think what I'm going to do for this month is I'm going to give away a year's free subscription at Genessis Models. If you already have a subscription at Genessis Models, I will give you the cost in cash, right, posted to you or PayPal to you, the equivalent of a year's free subscription. So this month's going to be the free subscription, and as always, you know, just go to Genessis Models website, in the competition section, post your little comment of what you think would be a good idea to do as a little bit of extra content over the next, like, however long, and just post in there, and you'll get automatically entered. And in the May's show, I will go off and announce the winner, and in this case we'll give you a free membership, or I will kind of transfer you over the equivalent of a year's membership if you already have a Genessis Models membership. So hopefully you're going to get in on that and give me all your feedback so I can put something in place. But I want to give the forum a little bit of love, and actually, talking about GBs again, we may as well go off on the forum, show you the forum a little bit, and show you what you guys have been doing in this photo perfect GB that's going on, because we've got quite a nice couple of builds. We've already had somebody finish a build, so let's take a look. So here we are at the Genessis Models forum, which I just want to show you off and just show what's been going on our picture perfect GB. Just to show you somebody who's been working on what they've got here, we have I do believe, who was it again? It was Remy. He is actually building a Tacom 1/35 scale French light armored car. That's the AML 90 version. Let's just show you what he's kind of copying here, which is this picture here, which is a nice sort of rusted, sort of neglected kind of tank, that armored car that we got here. And just to sort of speed things up, we'll go to page 2, because he's got some nice pictures here where which is what's so good about this, is we get to see the kind of modifications that people actually do. As you can see here, he's basically making some brake discs, which is quite cool, to have add these brake discs to it and everything, and he's just modifying it up with a bit of plastic card, and it just makes it all look that little bit better. You know, adding those little extras really do, you know, sort of improve a model. And as you can see here, you know, all sorts of little bits and bobs he's put on, and then he's got it in the spray bay where we should see it all sort of nicely sprayed up, and he's just basically copying the picture. You know, even the gun here with that rag on it or something, and as you can see the brake discs just here now as well, all looking good. Can't wait to see that with it all nicely rusted up.
We then have also, who's this now? We've got Timbo. Timbo is building a 135th scale Challenger 1 Mark III. I do believe that's the Tamiya version. He's got his all nicely built up and sort of being all ready to go in the spray bay, just as you can see just there. We also have, this one's a cool one because this is a Leopard 2 A7, which is it's a different box art, but it's basically the same kit that I've just started now as a step-by-step, and it's nice to see that he's basically almost sprayed this one up. So this is the free camo stage he's going for here. So let's go to page 2. And as you can see, all sort of nicely primed up, and the first colours down. He's got all his tracks doing. That must have took him absolutely ages. He's really cracked on with this one as well. Got it all built, as you can see. All those tracks nicely painted, all the rubber bits and everything, and looking good. Should look good once he's getting it all weathered and everything. Using that lovely black putty as well to get the those camo patterns going. And as we go down, there we go, all nicely paint sprayed up and painted and everything, ready for a nice bunch of decals, and all that weathering should really sort of set that one off. So really actually looking quite good. Really excited to get mine all built as well. Then we actually have our first one. It was finished there, their GB as well. So well done to Stevo MTB1. Not sure if I pronounced that right, but he's actually the first one to finish, and he's all ready to be judged and everything for this GB when it comes to an end. And as you can see, he's been building the an SU-27 flanker, and here's the picture he was copying, and here's the finished product just here, which is absolutely lovely because we've got this nice diorama that, as you can see, is copying the picture itself. We've even got the number on here, 58, which is a proper tail number. And as you can see, we've got figures in there which are basically standing in the same place, all the equipment around here, the colours, even the background at the back here. We've got all these metal yellow fences at the back, even the sky and the grassy hill behind it. You know, he's got all that nicely copied at the back, which really sort of gives it that photo perfect thing that we're after for being, you know, a good GB for this first half of the year. As you can see, as we go down, you know, we get more sort of pictures. You really start to see the camo pattern as well, which is that really sort of I think it's a very tedious camo pattern, which makes it kind of hard because you got to do all sorts of masking and everything to get this kind of checkered kind of pattern going on. Really tedious, but you know, once they're done, it really sort of pays off. And I wouldn't surprise me if he's somewhere up there as being one of our competition winners. But you know what, he's only the first. We've got to see what everyone else brings to the table. So there you go, first one built for our GB. Just a quick one as well. Here is the Genesis Models Forum. Thought I'd give it a bit of a shout out because it could do with a bit of love. If you are interested, you know, the forum side of things at Genesis Models is free, right? You don't have to pay for anything. If you go up here, right, you know, it's the video section where you kind of subscribe to pay for the videos and see the videos. But the forum, right, the forum, this is all free. You can nicely register, don't have to pay, username, password, boom, you're in, and you can comment and use the forum as much as you want, which is a great place for you guys to socialize, to get together, to answer each other's questions. I mean, there's absolutely tons of, you know, veteran members on here who actually kind of like comment. They actually like answer people's questions and they help each other out, and all nice and sociable. Just a quick sort of look down it, you know, we've got this section here is normally where the competitions are, any sort of news, vlogs, events, general chat. Moving down, there's a nice little section just here where online stores, you know, you guys go off and you comment on and review online stores. So, you know, any of you guys are kind of wondering, you know, should I be, you know, going to this site? Are they any good? You know, good place to look there. This video section here is basically where I kind of put like the first episodes, the step by steps, and leave you guys to kind of, if you want to comment on it or anything like that. We've got a kiddies corner, really good place if you want to sort of get the kids involved and put videos up. We've got final reveals. This is probably the main sections of the forum, really, is where you guys get to show off your absolutely fantastic work, which there is loads of fantastic work in here, loads of pictures. Really sort of makes you jealous how good some people are. Really good as well, nice comments, all that good stuff. Work in progress, this is a good one as well. You know, here you got so many people building their models, taking pictures as they build it, you know, all the scratch building and everything. And then again, you know, you've got all the comments of people going, you know, how did you do this, and you know, people explaining how they do it and everything. Loads of stuff to learn there. Then we've got our GBs and SIGs, which, as you can see, I've just been showing the Photo Perfect group build to 2020 first half. You know, that's where you kind of post all that stuff. Bit of research, you know, I mean, plenty of guys have gone off to you know, museums, they've took pictures and then they've thrown the pictures up there, and it just gives people a nice bit of, you know, reference photos, and it's all good to kind of share and see and all that good stuff. This section here, this is basically, you know, helping each other to learn how to be professional modelers and reviews. So this is you members going off and, you know, asking a question. We've got build stage here, ask anything from filling, sanding, gluing, and anything to do with building, you know, and people will answer. They do answer and sort of, you know, give you whatever tips, whatever tricks or answers, and it just helps each other out. And there's all sorts of different categories there to sort of help out. And then, as you can see, group build archives, which is basically all the group builds that we've done here at Genessis Models, and that is just full of all the fantastic builds people have done with regards to GBs. Absolutely tons and tons of information in there. So that's the forum. I thought I'd give it a bit of love, just to give a bit of a shout out to the forum. I'd like to get more people on there, more people sort of sharing, commenting, because you know what, there's an absolute ton of fantastic people who actually use it and they comment, and you know, you get good friendships and all that good stuff, which actually, thinking about it, another thing I'd like to give a bit of love to, if we just go to the home page, TeamSpeak here. TeamSpeak is also a good place where I have set it up so you guys can start using it. It's kind of come back new and hasn't been utilized as much as I'd like, but you know, get on TeamSpeak and just chat with people from around the world. It is free. All you got to do is download this software, get a headset with a mic, and you can go off and talk to fellow like-minded modelers and talk to your heart's content, which I know all you guys can talk for anyone. So that's the forum, and I just wanted to give that a good shout out, and a nice shout out for the GB, which you still do have time, right? I mean, the GB's got like maybe 2 months left. You still got time to build one and finish one if you did want to get in on the action and sort of get yourself judged and everything to potentially win those first, second and third prizes. You know, you still have got time. I mean, you've got to sort of pull your thumb out, but you have got time to get one finished if you want to get started still now. And good luck to everyone else who is still building away, and I'd love to see all your models.
So there's the forum. Hopefully you enjoy sort of seeing all those GBs. I mean, really, there's a lot more in there than what I showed you in that little clip there. You know, loads more sort of GB builds going on that could do with more credit as well. But maybe I'll add that a little bit more maybe to the shows, just to kind of keep people up to date with how the GBs are going, what people are doing and stuff, right? Because I do think the forum needs a little bit of love. So, you know, get over there, get commenting. Hope to see you over there. But sadly, we have come to the end of the show. I'm going to leave you, you know, again with all your fantastic pictures of, you know, brand new builds that have been finished and everything from you guys on the forum, and hopefully you'll keep yourself all safe, and I hope to see all the fantastic ideas, because you always come out with great ideas, you know, for me to kind of implement some new stuff to come out over the next hopefully the next couple of days, for however long we're all in lockdown. So again, as always, my name is Bobby Waldron, this is Genessis Models, and I hope you've enjoyed. you.